Alright, Subterraneans. So it opens with the instrumental, which I don't know if it was always a decision to open the album with an instrumental, but I know that when the decision was made to make another record, I was trying to find a way in. I think I had a pretty good list of songs that I had picked, probably like 20 or 25 songs that we were kind of whittling down to what would eventually become the album, but I couldn't sort of find, I was uninspired, couldn't find my way in, and I think I came home from work one day and you were fiddling around with Logic Pro, which is a program that Maxwell has been learning. But I don't remember what you were doing. If you could kind of explain like what you were doing, what you were fiddling around with. I don't remember exactly what you showed me when I got home.
It was that, those loops.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just putting them together and trying to make a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it actually was pretty good. I think it was a lot of, was it a lot of like the orchestration stuff?
And then saxophone. And,
yeah. Yeah, he was sort of doing research through the whole sort of loop library in Logic Pro and just finding stuff and sort of manipulating things, pitch shifting things, and just trying to essentially make beats. Like a lot of hip hop guys will do. They'll listen to classic records or whatever and find bits and make it their own. So in a way, that's what he was doing. And he had something that was just really cool that inspired me to sit down and kind of dive head.
It's that jazzy one, right?
Yeah, I remember that. That's still gonna come out. But dive sort of head first into creating what would become Subterraneans. That whole instrumental thing. The riff, when it gets kind of heavy at the end, I remember playing it for you. It was something that I came up with quite quickly on the spot because I knew I wanted it to kick into something. And it was like very, I think I was listening to a lot of Alter Bridge, so there was a lot of Tremonti-esque kind of feel there. And I played it to you on an acoustic guitar, and you were like,
I didn't like it. No.
Yeah, he didn't like it, and he's like, I think it may be on an electric, maybe it'll work. So I plugged it in, and it really worked. Yeah. It really came to life and stuff.
Needed some drive.
Yeah. Talk about your bass sound on that.
Yeah. I made that like a year before.
Yeah.
When I first started playing bass, and it was like I was just screwing up all the EQ things.
Yeah.
I was just making them go big or small, and then I got this really like wide kind of powerful sound, right?
Yeah.
And then it just sat there for a long time. And then
was it like you were going for something, or just like
It was just whatever.
Yeah, because it was like listening to a lot of Glenn Hughes, and sort of like Doug Pinnick is in there, and McCartney.
Yeah.
We were watching a lot of McCartney stuff. Who else? Gail Ann Dorsey.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really wanted to focus on a lot of different sounds this time around, and bass being one of them. I played bass on the first record. I'm a very minimal bass player, but I did what needed to be done.
Yeah, it was good.
For those songs, it's fine, capable, but this time around it needed to be almost another identity. And Maxwell really stepped up to the plate as far as that's concerned. As far as the title, Subterraneans. Bowie.
Yeah.
David Bowie from his 1977 album Low. There's an instrumental on there. I think there's a little bit of vocalizing near the end or something.
Yeah. But isn't that just Subterranean?
But it's just called Subterranean. But it's a dope thing. I always liked Bowie. Always liked Bowie growing up. I've got records and DVDs and stuff. But Maxwell, it became an obsession for you. Bowie's like his guy.
The best.
So his obsession with Bowie really kind of reinvigorated my obsession with Bowie, and so there's a lot of Bowie on this album, and that I just thought was a very cool title. A lot of the things that that's been going on in the world the last several years kind of inspired that as well. So it all just kind of fell into place. And then with the album cover with the red pill, which if you've seen The Matrix, I don't really have to explain that. But yeah, what else? Oh, the sound. There's some kind of vocal staccato effects at the end, which I stole from Richard Patrick. Filter does a lot of that on Filter Records, and I've always, since I was young, was always fascinated by that. There's some things like that when you hear Nine Inch Nails records, Marilyn Manson records, Typo Negative, Filter, these kinds of bands do a lot of those sort of that industrial and skipping staccato kind of vocal thing, and I'm completely obsessed with it. And I did it on the last record on a song on there, and I wanted to do it even better on this one. So, yeah.
I remember when you were figuring out how to do that.
Yeah.
And it was like, you're like chopping it up on the computer for like an hour.
It's labor intensive. And I feel like, in the olden days when they had reel-to-reel and tape, they would have to sit there with a razor and cut the tape and kind of glue it and paste it all together. And in a way, I got to do that just with a mouse click. But it was still fun. But a great way to open the record. It draws you in, and there's orchestration, and there's cool bass, and then there's the ending with the heavy guitars, and there's violins and stuff. So everything that you're about to hear on the record, kind of in and out each song, you kind of hear in that first song. What you're about to experience is kind of...
It's like a teaser.
It's almost a teaser for what's to come. So, great opener, and yeah.